Over 1400 years ago, in the city of Makkah, a man was born who would become the closest companion of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His name was Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. Even before Islam, Abu Bakr was known for his honesty, kindness, and wisdom. He was a respected merchant, a man of noble character, and someone who always stood for justice. But his life would change forever when he met his best friend, Muhammad, and heard a message that would transform the world. When the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam received the first revelation, he shared the message with those closest to him, and without hesitation, Abu Bakr became the first adult man to accept Islam. He believed in the truth immediately and dedicated his life to supporting the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. From that day, he became his closest friend, his strongest supporter, and his most loyal companion. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam once said, "Every person I invited to Islam hesitated, except Abu Bakr." One of the most famous moments in his life was when the Isra Mi'raj happened, the miraculous night journey where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam traveled from Makkah to Jerusalem and ascended to the heavens. The disbelievers laughed and mocked the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, saying, "Do you really believe he went to the heavens in one night?" But Abu Bakr did not hesitate. He said, "If he said it, then it is the truth." From that moment, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave him the title As-Siddiq, which means the truthful one. When the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was commanded to migrate to Madinah, who did he choose to accompany him on this dangerous journey? It was Abu Bakr. As they hid in the cave of Thor, the enemy searched for them. Abu Bakr whispered in fear, "O Messenger of Allah, if they just look down, they will see us." But the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam reassured him, "Do not be afraid, for Allah is with us." And indeed, Allah protected them, and they safely reached Madinah, where Abu Bakr continued to stand by the Prophet's side in every battle, every hardship, and every moment of struggle. One day, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked his companions to donate their wealth for the cause of Islam. Umar ibn al-Khattab thought, "Today I will finally give more than Abu Bakr." He brought half of his wealth and gave it to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then Abu Bakr came, bringing everything he owned. The Prophet asked, "O Abu Bakr, what have you left for your family?" And Abu Bakr replied, "I've left for them Allah and His Messenger." Umar later said, "I will never be able to surpass Abu Bakr." When the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed away, the companions were in deep shock. Some refused to believe it, including Umar, who said, "The Prophet has not died." But then Abu Bakr stood up and said one of the most powerful statements in history. "O people, whoever worship Muhammad, they know that Muhammad has passed away. But whoever worshipped Allah, they know that Allah is ever living and never dies." Then he recited the verse from the Quran. "Muhammad is no more than a messenger. Other messengers have passed away before him. If he dies or is killed, will you then turn back on your heels?" At that moment, reality sank in, and the companions understood that Islam would continue. After the Prophet ﷺ, Abu Bakr was chosen as the first Caliph of Islam. He ruled with justice, humility, and fear of Allah. During his short rule of 2 years, he united the Muslim Ummah after the loss of the Prophet ﷺ. He defeated false prophets and rebellions, and he preserved the Quran by ordering it to be compiled in a book. His leadership laid the foundation for the great Islamic empire that would spread across the world. In his final moments, Abu Bakr remained humble. He did not take wealth or power for himself. Instead, he instructed that his simple clothing should be used for his burial. As he lay dying, he whispered, "Let my grave be simple, for I am just a servant of Allah." And so, in the year 634 CE, Abu Bakr passed away, leaving behind a legacy that no one could match. Abu Bakr's daughter, Aisha radiallahu anha, was one of the most beloved wives of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and a key figure in preserving hadith and Islamic teachings. His other children included Asma, known for her bravery during the Hijrah, and Abdullah, who helped the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Abu Bakr during their migration to Medina. In conclusion, Abu Bakr was the greatest companion. He was not just the closest friend of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was the greatest companion in history. His life teaches us true friendship and loyalty, sacrificing everything for Islam, leading with wisdom and humility. May Allah be pleased with Abu Bakr and grant us the ability to follow his example.